There's something American corporations did in Cuba that's so dumb it's almost beautiful. And it tells us so much about how capitalism works. For decades, US sugar giants like United Fruit that owned large chunks of Cuba had been lying on their tax returns. They claimed the land was worth almost nothing so they could get out of paying property tax. In 1959, when Fidel Castro took power, he said, great, we're going to buy all of that land off you and we're going to pay the exact value that you've been telling us it's worth. Let me back up. My name's Cameron Riley. I'm the co-host of the Cold War podcast. So when Castro kicked out the last US puppet dictator in 1959, hundreds of thousands of Cubans were working the land but didn't own a fucking square meter of it. And Castro doesn't steal it. He doesn't take it by force. He passes a law. Cuba will buy the land and give it to the people who are actually working it. 20-year bonds, generous interest rate, all paid out of sugar revenue. The sugar that they're selling to the United States. And this, by the way, is the exact model that the United Nations was recommending for developing nations. It was all very above board, very polite. US companies had been cheating on their tax returns for decades, screwing the poor Cubans out of money that they deserved, that could have paid for education or healthcare or infrastructure, and now they've been caught out red-handed. What do? They go crying to Washington. Oh, this 32-year-old bearded lawyer has caught us red-handed. Help, help. What does Eisenhower do? Does he sit down and have a discussion like a grown-up? No. He tries to escalate. He tries to bully Castro into giving them what they want. He says they're going to cut their sugar quota from Cuba. This is the exact way that the Cubans had planned to pay for the land, so Castro just laughs in their face and says, fine, you don't want to play ball? We'll just nationalize the land instead. The US continues to escalate and slaps an economic embargo on the entire country, which is illegal, by the way, under international law, and that illegal economic embargo still exists today, 70-odd years later. The communists tried to do the right thing. The capitalists, instead of just admitting their fraud, decided to start a war. And you've spent your whole life thinking Castro was the bad guy in this story.